Okay, so I don't know if today's the day or not, but well, actually, it's not today because today's Monday. I always do the readings the day before. But as I was allowing for reversals, this card flipped over. So I just thought I'd show you. And then also I remembered, because so many of you keep asking me, when? Back in May, the video's up. I think it's like when something about Trump. I'm using the Radiant right away. So anyway, back in May when I did that reading, I was using the Lennies and I got the mountain, what am I saying? It was this, hold on. It was the garden, let's see. Maybe it's at the other. I had that card, and then I had this card. No, I had that card first. No, actually, it went like this. Hold on. Find the little mice-a-roos. Come on. Okay, obviously I passed it. There it is. Okay, so the cards went like this. This way, this way, this way. And so timing with this card has to do with out in public, or, well, it could be the 20th of any month, okay? But out in public and on a national holiday. And that's where I picked up the national holiday prediction. Then I'm looking at it going, oh, wait, okay, so and the mice is kind of like something immediate, or just a short amount of time, small amount of time, or like a detail you need to attend to right away because something's being eaten away at. But anyway, I took it as like less around a national holiday, but maybe somewhere closer to, with the heart is a card for summertime. So I just left it there and said, I don't know, and I was thinking to myself, well, it'd be great if it were October 13th because that is Indigenous Peoples Day. But I did another reading after that, and I can't remember the title of the video. I think I might have posted it in the community section recently. Anyway, it took me forever to figure out what the cards were saying, but I got the 4th of July. Okay, so that's obviously not this 4th of July. And I could be wrong. It could be, because you guys are telling me a lot of other people are saying September or around Halloween or whenever it comes, it'll come. But it's coming, right? And meanwhile, let me move this a little bit. There we go. Meanwhile, those of us here, myself included, we're learning the meanings, the health meanings of the tarot. Okay? If you care about that, you'll stick around and give me some other people to read on. Actually, I have a list over there. I could pop that out when I have time. I've been slammed with personal readings and anyway. Okay, so here for the orange monster, who, oh my goodness, is just he is absolutely insane. He's sitting behind his Resolute desk and he's covering up his right hand. Just keeps his hand covered. But then he signed with this Sharpie pen, so I don't know. He did an executive order thing. But he's talking about paving the roads in Washington, D.C. and saying he'll do it for $2 or whatever, something like that, $2 a square foot or whatever it is. But he's saying most people, most governments, or what was he saying? Most companies, most whatever. I'm not even sure what he said because he's just so insane. I was going crazy in my own head trying to follow him. But he was trying to say that usually they just rip out the whole road. Now tell me, you guys, how often have you ever seen anything like that? I mean, I lived in California for 62 years of my life, and I've been in Oregon for the last 8 or whatever that is, 6, 7, something like that. Anywho, usually when it's asphalt, now concrete on the freeways is totally different, but asphalt roads and streets like they would have around Washington, D.C., they do this like sealing thing, and I think it's called chip and seal, where they put in, and with even potholes, they do a massive amount of asphalt with some kind of weird glue, and then they pound it in there. But I mean, I've never seen them rip out an entire road. I've seen new roads go in or be completely like up in the mountains, where there's heavy snow and heavy trucks, and the snow plows have to go over, and there's all that. Those roads take a beating. And so, whether it's, in any state, I would think that it depends on the road, first of all, but they always go over it. They don't tear the road up. What an idiot. So, yeah. Okay. Here's his doctor with the Two of Cups. This is someone who is assisting him, basically. And it's not reversed, so I can't say that he doesn't have, an unhappy partnership that way, or that the guy is whoever the nurse or we could say it's a stand-in for all of them, all of those who take care of him. His big challenge with the Five of Wands reversed is that they can take care of him all they want. They can't fix his impotence, and he's impotent on so many different levels. They can't fix his heart problems. I mean, they can just keep putting stents in and whatever, but when it has to do with those large bodily systems, like the endocrine system and kidneys and liver and all that. Liver will hold out, but kidneys, that's going to be probably the first thing to go. And they're just fighting. They're fighting a battle they can't win, basically. So his biggest challenge is that he needs to compromise and focus on his own goals, but he can't really, because my key word for this card, if you guys are studying, the tarot, the meanings, chronic fatigue. So they can give him something, they can, give him some liquid IV something. They could also, he himself could snort something up his nose like he always does. Hello to the kitties out there. I have such a huge long list of all the names, and I'm definitely going to do a separate video. But if you want your kitty's name, or doggy, any of your fur babies, if you want them to say hi, if they like the chopstick, if it will entertain them, okay? Let me know. But if you have named them an interesting name that I absolutely love them, but I'm going to need to know how to pronounce it, okay? So keep that in mind. You're going to have to teach me. Okay, so early in the morning, so basically chronic fatigue, he has medical assistants to help him get up and be upright. And then early in the morning, we have the Queen of Cups reversed and the King of Cups reversed. That's not so good when it comes to health, actually, because we have genetic issues with King of Cups reversed. And we all know that both his mother and his father were, she was mentally ill, Well, he was too, because malignant narcissism is a mental illness. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's just, bones, maybe health problems with his bones and ankles and teeth. I don't know. It's usually a card of overindulgence because it's Jupiter and Taurus. Like, who doesn't love yummy food? But when it's reversed, it can just, it works against you. So excess there of shoveling whatever he does down his pie hole. And then with the Queen of Cups reversed, this, because, he's a man, I'm just going to say that this is somebody who's taking care of him, but who is emotionally insecure and pretty gullible and codependent and will give to get. So they'll give him, look at this, right? They'll give him what he wants. But that's not going to be good for him, is it? Okay, midday, we have the King of Swords and the Two of Swords, both upright. So basically with the King of Swords, now this could be somebody in his life that's helping him out. We do have all those air sign men, right? We've got Hegsbreath, we've got Netanyahu, and I don't know about that. We've got Mikey Johnson, Peter Thiel, Putin, his dad, if he's channeling his dad from the bowels of hell, that would make sense to me. He's got it, maybe he has his antenna up to his dad. Oh, goodness. Maybe it's little Marco Rubio helping him out. But anyway, when it comes to health with the King of Swords, this card, because it's so Uranus can bring through upsets to the nervous system, especially. Libra is about the kidneys. Okay, so here we are. Medical help, chronic fatigue, impotence, and possible, of course, heart problems. We already know that. But yeah, kidney problems. And with the Two of Swords, when we're looking at health, when it's reversed, I see it as definitely drugs. With him, because he has been a habitual drug user all of his adult life, illicit drugs, and then now having the best health care, I don't know if on the planet, but he can get what he needs. That's the thing, you guys. I mean, the cure for cancer has been out there for years. The cure for all different kinds of cancers. It's just that normal people can't afford it, and insurance companies are sure as hell not going to pay to get that to you. Because they're like, $750,000 just to, have a few treatments. But they can cure it. So I'm sure that's how Putin is still alive. So yeah, okay, drugs and kidney problems, because the kidneys are tired of filtering out all the drugs and the food, and yeah. Okay, then in the evening, so there's a relationship. Now this is his card actually, but and he ain't no lover, that's for sure. He's just a transactional. He's a person who is needing to learn what relationship is all about. So anyway, but this to me feels like in the evening, he's having to make some decisions. Some, keywords with the Lover's card is decisions to try to bring in some kind of harmony. Well, I don't think he knows what harmony really is. But who's the younger person? Well, Baron is a Pisces, so this may be that he's trying to connect with Baron. But on the level of health, just to stick with those meanings, because that's what we're learning about, right? We're in the realm here of the fifth chakra, his ability to communicate, and also the fifth chakra in the front is the communication center, but in the back it's our executive center. And he's, he thinks he's the executive that's doing all kinds of things. And so, but what he's really doing, besides maybe wanting to talk to Barron, is he's communicating things to distract away from the Epstein issue. Right? Over the weekend and Friday, my goodness, did we get a barrage of distractions coming from him. Deflection, right? That's his thing. Deflect, deny, and then when you get to court, delay, and in between there, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that he was the number one litigator in the United States. So let's keep going. Okay. Late at night or middle of the night, maybe he's kind of quiet with the high priestess here, but it might be secrets coming out in the news really fast. Now, when it comes to health, we're dealing with possibly, because it's ruled by the moon, so we're talking things with the stomach, digestion, hormones, just basically the fluid balance in the body. And with the Eight of Wands, I think he's having problems, with not only his head, but breathing problems when he lays down. He might fall down. He might get up in the middle of the night and have a fall because of something wrong with his feet. Pisces rules the feet. We've got the moon here. The moon's very could rule actually any water. Could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So, okay, let's see what's at the bottom of the day, or bottom for the foundation for the whole day. Yeah, lots of sniffy stuff to get his brain going, and because he thinks it's a work week, but he does whatever he wants anyway. So, but when it comes to health and the Knight of Wands, this is somebody who, they're ambitious, but they're just not grounded because they're impulsive in a way that, and especially for him because he's a narcissist, they all have impulse control disorders. So there's more and more of that going on. And then with the Queen of Swords, I think what he's impulsively doing is going towards the women that support him. So I don't know, is he going to be trying to get a hold of Laura Loomer because she's a Gemini? I do believe Natalie Harp is an Aquarius, his human printer. So there might be a lot of stupid stuff like that going on. Maybe he's going to talk to Janine Pirro. She's a Gemini as well. I don't know about Amy Coney Barrett or Aileen Cannon. They're both air sign. They're both Aquarians. I feel it's like making some stupid mistakes, impulsively connecting with Laura Loomer, because she always brings in the crazy for him, right? And he likes that. So yeah, but it's for the whole day, so it could very well be Laura Loomer, Natalie Harp, and Janine Pirro. So okay, well, I'm going to get this uploaded and get on to the next one to see what's actually happening to him. Okay, bye you guys.